Hello to all of you out there watching and welcome to Wet Souls. This is episode number 2 on our Maneater series. Last week at the end of the video we've been captured by Scaly Pete, so now we're going to find out what is happening to our friend the shark as well as talk sharks. So brace yourselves and let's get straight into it and play Maneater.
On board the Cajun Queen, Scaly Pete looks over the catch of the day.
Alright. Doesn't look too good for us.
Yeah, this my daddy's iron, all right. But this ain't the shark. Not the one I was looking for.
How do you know?
How I know? Not big enough. This look like a mega to you? Oh, well, looky here. She's on for me.
Oh.
Hello.
Our shark was pregnant.
How you mama in there?
Whoa! But why'd you do that?
So I can identify her. Next time I see her. When I spear her.
Oh.
The tiny pup responds with an instinct for survival.
You maybe want to turn off the
We got him. Okay, well that was interesting. So we were pregnant, the shark we were playing, and Scaly Pete caught it after he created mayhem and then cut it open and out came a pup. And just as he was holding that, it bit off his arm or hand. And now we got the titles going here. So there's a lot going on, and there seems to be narrative involved into this as well with this character, Scaly Pete, who's a bit of a, special type of guy. And he's got an assistant who's not been introduced. And there we go, Maneater. So let's play a bit more and then see. Okay, so we've been thrown into the water and that's what looks like his hand. See if I can, oh yes, I can feast on that.
A famous big game hunter once posited that after an animal had tasted human flesh, it forsakes its natural prey in a deadly single-minded search for the most dangerous game.
Right, so it looks like now we are playing with the pup shark, which we just saw, and we're in a completely different environment. We're in a swamp, at least that's what it looks like. Greenish water, brown greenish water, and we've got lots of collapsed trees. We've got a bit of algae and murky type of environment, and it's telling us visit the Fortic Bayat Grotto. Okay. Nice. Some type of sonar pinging sound. And again, we have quite a few different creatures here. Let me see if I can perform the same kind of... So I cannot tail whip. There's something here which... There's a signpost.
Remember, when planning a cemetery, try to avoid high-risk coastal areas.
That's true. So this cemetery has obviously been submerged. And let's see, so we can follow that. That seems to be the place to go, 123 meters away. Let's see. I like it. I think it's an interesting place, this one. I don't really understand exactly yet how the game is going to develop, but I sympathize with the fact that we've taken control over this predator and we're actually playing as the shark. That's a pretty cool thing, and we're free roaming, exploring this environment. That's pretty cool. And there are tasks and different actions to be performed. Interesting swamp. It looks a tiny bit like the the swamps out of something like Red Dead Redemption 2, if you know that game. Very green, very murky. Oh, nice. So yeah, the little pup can actually feast on things, and if you see down there is like a energy level bar that shows us that the energy is going up. So presumably we're on level 1, this is going to grow. What's that?
No one can tell what may be found in a shark's stomach. It's truly the ocean's garbage.
Okay, so we found a nutrient cache. They contain a large amount of nutrients. Okay, and yeah, true. What the voice in the background said. So it's very interesting. Sharks do eat all sorts of things, and they're very opportunistic feeders. There's been number plates and other things found inside shark stomachs, which obviously adds to that whole mystical and sometimes a little bit scary and difficult to understand image the shark has. But what they do and what they're great for is they're actually really taking care of a lot of the injured and decomposing animals, cleaning the oceans, making sure that those decomposing animals are taken care of. Wildlife combat. Wildlife can be hostile, evade to dodge their attacks. When you see wildlife glow, they are vulnerable. Attack while they're vulnerable, so to stun them. Okay, so I can wiggle and thrash as well. I can focus on the threat. Okay, well, let's see where this is going to take us. Going to play a bit more and then take a break and have a little chat. Catfish down there. Catfish, which are usually bottom dwelling. They're not often swimming in mid-water like that. But nevertheless, a tasty meal for a shark.
Catfish are bottom feeders, so in eating them, sharks consume quite a variety of revolting and unmentionable things.
Yeah, that's interesting. I like the comments because they're quite accurate, and they are actually giving some insight. What we have here is breakwater, so that's a mixture of salty and fresh water, and the bull shark is actually adapted and is one of the few sharks that can enter breakwater and swim in it. Typically here, usually you'd have predominantly freshwater fish. Now let me see if I can find this grotto. Okay, and there we are. So this seems to be the entrance to the grotto they were talking about, and there is something like a buoy out here, maybe some meteorological type of construction. Let's go down. Right, and there is this cable, and that does. Okay, let's follow it. It leads us into.
The bull retreats to the grotto for refuge and quiet reflection.
Right, okay, so this seems to be some sort of safe house, a cave, which looks very, very, very psychedelic. There's a lot of bioluminescence here, and algae, and lots of debris of something that looks like a theme park. Okay. Not sure what to do with it. Nature's intention, press left to open. Okay, so we can see our little shark pup here. And we've got ratings, so we've got mass, health, defense, damage rating, and equipped with new advanced sonar evolution. Let's see. Advanced sonar. This evolution improves the range, cooldown, and sensitivity of your sonar ability. Okay. And this is actually, okay, there's a lot of talk about evolution. There's different things that we can do and ranks that we can reach. Let's see.
Exhibiting behavior more common to whales and dolphins, this shark is able to use biosonar to locate potential prey.
Yeah. So again, we have a cross-species type of approach here. It seems like we have some kind of sonar ability, which or echoing ability, which is actually something that sharks cannot use. They can use electric impulses, again using these ampullae of Lorenzini to locate prey, but they do not send out any sounds, which they can then use in form of an echo to locate other animals or objects. Okay, well, this is very interesting. Let's take a break here. Let's stop for a second and let's have a chat, because otherwise I'm afraid this might become a hugely long video. Yeah, let's take a break. Okay, then welcome back. Now, what did I enjoy about the game? Well, it's a fun, entertaining, well-designed video game with a completely different approach to the exploration of the underwater world. What I didn't like so much is the fact that maybe here and there, there's a little excessive goriness, like when we were attacking the swimmers on the beach. And perhaps there is a little bit of antagonism in the narrative between shark and human, but that's probably just to drive the story forward, and for sure we'll have to play just a bit more to understand what really the story will be like. But ultimately a very cool game. I enjoyed that, and I really like the fact that we're playing with the shark and taking the side of the animal. That's pretty great. Now, I did this video because for me it's important to try and spread a message, and that is that sharks are not the monsters that we think they are. And it is difficult really to understand this if someone has never learned to swim, maybe never snorkeled with sharks, or never has been diving with sharks, because we have been absolutely exposed massively to an image of sharks in the media, which is very negative, be it through films like Jaws or Sharknado or many other productions which used fear as the main driving factor to sell. And even when we read in a newspaper or we see in the news that someone has been bitten by a shark, usually this amplifies exactly these type of fears, and they're often amplified through the way these topics are presented in the news as well.
Came out, shot out of the water, spun around, just didn't look like a dolphin. Fin, definitely a shark.
Lifeguards who saw one of the sharks say it was a bull shark, an aggressive species that can...
But trust me, if you get the chance, try to snorkel with sharks, try to dive with sharks, try to inform yourself about them more, see why they're important for our ecosystem, see what their behavior is, see how many different types of sharks there is on this planet, and try to find out what a marvelous and incredible creature they really are. Now, before I leave, I want to leave you with some facts. And in fact, there is a great report done annually by the University of Florida and the Florida National History Museum, which is the ISAF, that is the International Shark Attack File, has quite a gruesome name in itself. Really, we should maybe call it, like Dr. David Schiffman, who's a marine biologist that researches a lot about sharks, has suggested we should maybe call it the shark bite and fatal shark bite file. That would be more accurate. But let's have a look at 2020 and what happened globally on a planet with 7.5 billion people. We had a total of 39 provoked attacks. These are attacks in which a human being has interacted with the animal in a way that caused the animal to bite, whether by feeding the animal, disturbing the animal in its natural environment, dehooking. This counts towards a provoked reaction by the shark as well. And globally, there has been 39 provoked bites from sharks to human, so a very small number. Let's look at the unprovoked attacks. This has been 57. This is the type of bites where a shark has bitten a human. without the human interacting with them first, at least, probably without realizing. And please remember one thing when looking at this number, which sounds, well, rather higher than 39, even though it's still a very small number globally. The shark is very curious as a being, and will generally be inquisitive, at least certain types of sharks. And the only way they have to interact with whatever they want to interact with is to use their mouth. And well, unfortunately, you know that a shark is not a cuddly kitten, and therefore there can be some type of injury. But let's look at the perhaps most important number globally. There has been, in 2020, 10 fatal bites from sharks to human, and I think that is a very crucial number. If we look at the shark and try to find out whether it's a monster or not, 10 is a very low number. It's actually more likely you be electrocuted by your toaster in your kitchen than actually to be bitten by a shark. And finally, what we should perhaps look at is another number, which is the number of sharks that are killed on average by humans every year, and this is an estimated number of about 100 million sharks killed by humans every year. And remember one thing, the shark population is declining drastically. Now, I'll leave you with that, and perhaps with the thought of who the real monster is. Is it the shark being an apex predator in its natural environment which the human enters, or is it the human being doing what we are or seem to be rather good at? I'll leave you with that. In any case, thank you very much for watching. If you guys enjoyed the video, leave us a thumbs up. If you have any questions, drop them down below, or suggestions, whatever. I will answer all of them. If you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel. In any case, stay well, keep your souls wet, and see you next time. Bye bye. Oh yes, and a while ago we did, in our series Creatures of the Depth, a great video about the blacktip reef shark, which is a shark that you're very likely to meet on your next holiday. This video was made by marine biologist Charlie. Go and check it out, it's right up there or here. Enjoy that, and see you next time.